What's up, guys? Metroid Prime Fan 18 here yet again, and here with part 2 out of 4 of my Turok series review. And of course, since I'm going in chronological order of which the games were released, this next game is Turok 2 Seeds of Evil. Oh yes. Definitely a worthy sequel to the first game. Now, this game didn't necessarily have as much buzz about it. Like, it didn't have as much hype as Turok 1 did when it first came out. Like, there weren't any street name changings or anything like that. But when it came out and people started playing it, they immediately noticed all the improvements that were made. Graphics, music, animations, like death animations, more enemies, more weapons, everything. This game spans, according to the guide, over 5 virtual miles each level. And there are 6 levels, so that's 30 virtual miles in all. And that's not even counting all the backtracking you have to do. But let's start out with the story first. Basically, in Turok 1, after Tal Set killed the campaigner, he thought that the Chronoceptor was too powerful, just in case it fell in the wrong hands. So he decided to get rid of it forever by tossing it into a volcano. When that happened, all the power of the Chronoceptor erupted with the volcano, which erupted with enough power to awaken the next big boss. The big boss of Turok 2, known as the Primogen. And instead of Tal Set in this game, you take the role of his great, either 4 greats or 5 greats, grandson named Joshua Fireseed. He is the Turok you play as in this game. And apparently in this game he's either 21 or 22 years old. Maybe it was 6 years between the two, 18, something like that. He's young, I'll put it that way. In this game, you go through 6 levels. Like I said, each are huge, and there's a lot more stuff to do in this game than the first one. There is another weapon that you collect the pieces to, which in this game is called the Nuke, and there's only 6 pieces instead of 9. Yes, 9. There were 2 pieces of the Chronoceptor in level 7 in the first Turok. But in this game, you have to find other items known as eagle feathers and talismans. Talismans are these items that grant you powers by simply collecting them, or some you have to step on the talisman pad where it shows the logo of the talisman on it. 2 of those are the Leap of Faith, which just, once you step on the pad, it just gives you this great huge leap automatically to the other side of where you have to go. There's another one just like that. I don't know why they made this difference, called Whispers. Basically, these voices come from the ground and lift you slowly up to where you have to go. They're basically the same. The others are the Breath of Life, which give you life in the River of Souls, which I'll get to in a minute. There's the Breath of Fire, which allows you to walk through lava without taking any damage. And there is the Eye of Truth, which lets you see what were formerly invisible and therefore impassable walkways. Now, so you have to collect all those items to collect the Primogen keys. These keys are used for unlocking the Primogen's lair. And there's 6 of them because there's 6 levels. They're not just regular level keys. Now, graphics in this game. Graphics definitely improved from the last one, without a doubt. I mean, things are made a lot clearer. You can see in the distance. You can see way further into the distance than you could in Turok 1. And enemy designs are a lot better. Not to mention, there's a lot more enemies in this game. There's the Dinosaurs, who are genetically enhanced dinosaurs. They're the main enemy of the game. There's the Perlin, which back in Turok 1 there was only one type of Perlin, and it was just called the Perlin. But in this game there's 3 types of Perlin. The last of which I still have not found the perfect way to get rid of. It's a bitch. There's the Deadkin, who are these dead people, basically, who throw bloody limbs at you. There's a cheap way to get rid of that. Turn the blood off and they can't hurt you unless they get up close and start scratching you. There's the Blind Ones, which their level is worse than the Catacombs. It's too confusing. Do not use the in-game map. It will not help you. There are the Mantids, these alien insectoid creatures. Their level is the hardest. You will die at least once or twice on that level. It's also the longest. And then there's the Primogen's minions. They're just these half-robotic, half-creature enemies that are outfitted with armor and guns and all that. So yeah, enemies, there's an extremely diverse set of enemies in this game. Boss fights, Again, as with Turok 1, they don't start immediately, but they're more consistent in this game. Like in Turok 1, there was a boss at the end of level 3, then level 5, then level 8. In this game, it's level 4, level 5, level 6, then the Primogen. So, way more consistent. Gameplay-wise, definitely an improvement as well. Walking in this game does seem awkward at first because you don't go as fast, and the walking does feel a little different. Jumping, there is no diagonal jump in this game, so don't worry about that anymore. Jumping, same as Turok 1, can seem a little at times. Kind of faulty. But not too much. You can overlook that rather easily. Weapons. You're given an even bigger array of weapons in this game than from the last one. Way bigger. I mean, there's two whole... Like, you can select one group of weapons by pressing and holding down the A button. Then there's a second group of weapons by holding down the B button. And this game also introduces you to the favorite weapon among Turok players, the Cerebral Bore. The gun that drives a metallic bore into an enemy's brain, spews black ichor or ichor and yellow pus about, and then makes their heads explode. Yeah, pretty raw. But you've got all kinds of weapons. And of course you have the nuke, the multi-piece weapon, which isn't... I don't like it as much as the Chronoceptor, because I have not found a way to damage the Primogen with this. I used to damage the swarms of flying robotic dinosaurs he sends against you. And that works. It gets rid of all of them. So it's a cool weapon, but I still like the Chronoceptor better. Few gripes I have about this game. Like I said, the jumping is kind of awkward. There's also a glitch that only happens when you come out of the water after swimming or treading the water or whatever. If you walk forward like twice as fast as you usually do. And if you tap the C down button, which is the back pedal, you go forward slightly. And you keep doing this for a few seconds if you just do it repeatedly, but it eventually goes away. Now, this is probably just some sort of programming glitch caused by swimming. And swimming is also kind of weird in this game at first. But luckily you get a weapon called the Torpedo Launcher, which is one of the underwater-only weapons, which has a little propeller that allows you to go faster. Very useful. Swim with it when you get it. It's actually more useful for cutting through currents than fighting. There's also, in the second level you mount a Styracosaurus, an 8-horned dinosaur. And that has rocket launchers and a 20mm cannon on it. It's amazing. Weapons in this game are really... They just went slightly overboard maybe, but not too much. Another group of enemy I managed to forget are the Flesh Eaters, who you find inside these war portals. The war portals are warp portals, my bad. These are the portals you find the nuke pieces in, and these enemies are freaky. They are freaky, they are hard, and they are fast. You're going to have to get some practice in before you take on these dudes. Try to take them out from a distance if you can. You get too close to one of these things, you're dead meat. So they definitely made this game a lot more challenging, especially in the later levels. Level 5, especially. So, all in all, with the few gripes I had about jumping and the little underwater glitch, easily looked past. Overall, I give this game a 9.5 out of 10. Definitely a good game to get for the N64 if you're into first-person shooters. And it's definitely a worthy sequel to this game. And if you defend and protect and save all 5 of what's called the energy totems, those are what you have to protect. They contain light capable of destroying the Primogen for good. You save all 5 of them and you get the best ending. And trust me, the ending is worth it. It's amazing. So, with that ends my part 2 of my 4-part Turok series review, and next up will be Turok 3 Shadows of Oblivion, or Shadow of Oblivion. So until then, see ya.